Welcome back to Linda's Pantry. So today I'm going to bring you along for a ride with some Wor Wonton soup. And it's not going to be an exact authentic recipe, but it's going to be very similar, and that's what we call it whenever I make this soup. Every time I make it, it's a little bit different. Sometimes I do wontons, sometimes I don't. And so today though, I'm going to share odds and ends that I have available to me in my refrigerator, and we're going to make this delicious, and I'm going to have it for lunch the next couple days. So if this inspires you to stay with me, go ahead and go down in that show more box, hit the like button, hit my Facebook page and go over and like that page, join in on the conversation. Maybe take a look at my Wild Tree website, and where you can shop for all organic, all natural products. And some of the products I'm using today come from there. I just love this company. So that being said, let's go make some of this delicious Asian-inspired Wor Wonton soup. All right, come on. Okay, so I'm glad you stayed along for this because this is what's going in our soup. I've got some mushrooms back here, some wild mushrooms and cremini. That's all I had. Traditionally, you'd probably use a shiitake or some kind of an Asian mushroom, but that's what we're going to use. So I've got mushrooms that are rehydrating. I've got a little bit of ginger and some lemon that I'm going to zest and put a little bit of brightness in this. Not enough to detect what either one of those are, but enough to add just a clear brightness to the broth. I've got one bundle of bok choy, some leftover water chestnuts, about a half a cup of broccoli, half a cup of red and green pepper each, some baby organic carrots, half a zucchini cut up, 3 green onions. I've got 1 rib of celery, and that's the vegetable base of our soup. And so, because there's so many vegetables, and I was going to make wontons, and I thought, I'm not going to. I'm going to stick with the basics, and there's so much protein in this as well that you really don't need it. So let me show you what I've got for the meat portion of it. And this goes really fast. It's not a soup that takes a long time. So I've got about, I don't know, half a pound of large shrimp. These are my favorite. They go on sale periodically, and they're just delicious. They're very succulent. You're going to put those in last. This is chicken thigh meat that I've cut up in small pieces. And then I've got some slivered pieces of pork loin. I just cut them as thin as I could get them with the knife, and just about, I don't know, 3 ounces of that. So as you can see, the ingredients list here, other than the garlic, we're about ready to put this all together. And what I've been doing is over at the stove, I've got 4 whole chicken thighs that I'm going to use for a different recipe that have been poaching in some water. And so that's making our broth. And I did add a tablespoon of Wild Tree's chicken bouillon, and there's about 2 quarts of water in there. But I didn't think it needed any more with that rich flavor from the chicken thighs. So this is a really good bouillon. It's not super salty, and it's all natural, organic, and so that's why I use it. All right, so we're gonna move over to the stove, start dropping this in and getting this soup done. It goes really, really fast, and it's super simple, and it's really delicious and comforting on a cold day. Even in the summertime, I like this. And I'm leaving out the wontons. I just don't think I need them. I'm trying to stay away from as much pasta and bread as I possibly can, and really stay on a lighter note. So that being said, let's go get this on the stove. All right, so now we've got our, this is our poaching liquid. It's really pretty. I mean, it's an easy way to go ahead and get this nice, beautiful broth. And what I'm going to do is take these thighs out of here. These are going in a different recipe that I have coming up. That's also an Asian-inspired recipe. I love Asian anything. So, now I'm not sure. I guess it's because the flavors are so pure. So what I'm going to do is set that aside. I'm going to let you know, you can see by looking at that broth, it's not clear and really transparent. And so I'm going to strain that through a strainer and some cheesecloth. And I'll bring you back when I've got it back in the pot and we're ready to drop some veggies in there. Okay, so that was so worth it because look how nice and clear this broth is now. You can see how beautiful that is. And it doesn't have any of that sediment floating on top from, I don't know how well you can see that, but it's very nice and clear. Anyways, and I've tasted it. It tastes really good. You have to taste at this point before you start chopping everything or dropping everything because it needs some seasoning. I didn't put any salt. I poached the thighs with 1 tablespoon of the Wild Tree chicken bouillon, which is very low in sodium. So I want to add some salt. I'm adding Himalayan pink salt to this. And we'll taste it again along the way. And then I want to go ahead and take my microplane. And I've washed this lemon. Always wash your lemons. These are cute little lemons. And I just want a little bit of zest in here. Maybe a half a teaspoon. Not even that. I mean, you're just brightening the dish. You're not making it a lemon chicken soup. You're making that dish a little brighter. And so now I'm going to add, again, I really want to be easy on this, maybe half a teaspoon of ginger, okay? And that's to brighten the dish as well. It's just to add this little extra element in the background that you don't quite know what it could be, but there it is. Okay, we'll stir that in. I can smell the lemon. It just gives everything this little bit of bright that you just can't get any other way. So I'm going to put my harder vegetables down first, which is my carrots. Turn my heat up a little bit here. Carrots, celery, peppers, broccoli. I'm going to go ahead and put my mushrooms in here as well. Now I don't really want, normally I would use the mushroom liqueur, but I'm not going to. I'm thinking liqueurs. I'm not going to because I want this to be just a really light broth, and these mushrooms end up to be a little bit too earthy, or can get that way. And this is just wonderful. So we're going to drop all these vegetables down in here. Bring that back up to a temperature. In fact, I want to save my green onions out of here. I don't want to put them in yet. I want those to go in last. So we'll pick through this. And there's only 3 of them, but it's kind of I don't want them to get soggy. So we'll leave those out for now. Put those in the very last. And get this bok choy in here. And these vegetables are going to lend all their flavor as well. So the stock or broth ends up to just be delicious. We're going to have crunch from all of them, plus the water chestnuts. Don't leave any of that out. Okay. Okay. And if you think you have to, add some more water, and I think I do. As much as I try to make something on a small scale, I don't do very good at it. And if I need to, I'm going to add another 3 cups, maybe. If I need to, I will add some more of the Wild Tree's chicken bouillon. But at this point, I don't need to. I'm going to bring this up to a small simmer. As soon as I see it really coming up to a simmer, I'm going to add the meat in there. But I don't want to add it right now because it's not hot enough yet. Sure smells good though. Okay, so I'll bring you along when we're starting to add the meat. Okay, so this has come up to a simmer. It's just starting to get that simmer going, see? Now I want to add the meat in. I'm going to add the pork in first. And this is thinly sliced, as I showed you. Try to separate it a little bit so they don't meld together in the soup stock. And this will be just enough time, really and truly, for all of this to cook. These pieces are super thin. That's the one nice thing about Asian cooking is it's a little bit of prep work, but it's so worth it. It has, because it takes no time to cook. And I've done these in really small pieces, as you see. I've got these in tiny pieces as well. And I bought these chicken thighs when I had my grocery haul. I bought them for 99 cents a pound. And, you know, I've gotten them cheaper than that. But 99 cents a pound for my trusted brand that's all natural, no hormones and antibiotics, all that good stuff. Anyway, I skin them and bone them myself. And I save the bones for other soup stock because this really didn't need a lot of rich depth to it. It needs a light stock, but just poaching the chicken was plenty. And then now we're poaching even more. There'll be more meat flavor. But the meat is not the main component necessarily of this. This is like, to me, like an Asian jambalaya. I don't know. You just put everything in the pot, or an Italian minestrone. And so, anyways, my point was I saved quite a bit of money by boning and skinning it myself. There's no waste. And I get to the use of the bones later, which when you buy boneless, skinless thighs, you don't get that. And you pay more than double of 99 cents a pound. I think the last time I looked, it was $2.69 a pound for boneless, skinless thighs. And once in a while they'll go on sale, but not very often. So I'm going to let that get to a point where I feel like the meat is cooked through, and it won't take long, like I said. Like these little pieces, that's already cooked. Let me set that aside. I don't need to put that back in. So the pork is already cooked. The chicken is, I'm going to make sure that's cooked, and then I'll throw my shrimp in, and it's soup time. I mean, that's how easy and quick this is. It takes no time at all. I'll be right back when I throw the shrimp in. Okay, so it's been about 3 minutes maybe, and it's time. I'm going to put the shrimp and the green onion down all together because it takes no time for these shrimp at all. The chicken's done, the pork is done, and now we're going to put these big, healthy bites of shrimp in here. Oh. And you have a decadent Asian soup that is fit for a king or queen. In my case. Oh, and I get to, because there's no way, I mean, I'm going to eat this for the next couple of days, and it's healthy and it's figure friendly and all those things that we want from our meals, but I have no guilt here. This is guilt-free. And I'm going to share this with a friend at work too, because she's not as much of a cook as I am, and she appreciates somebody spoiling her now and then. So I'll bring you over and we'll plate this up. Okay, so it's time to serve, and you can tell when your shrimp are done because they curl up real tight into a little ball like that one. You don't want to overcook them or they become rubber. So I do want to, before we're all done, go ahead and go once around the pool with some light soy sauce. Not too much. It'll add a little extra seasoning, and but not too much salt. Okay, so I'm gonna dish this up. Oh, I love bok choy. I love all these vegetables actually. I'm gonna make sure you get plenty of broth, because that's what's gonna satisfy and warm your belly. Some beautiful vegetables, some prawns or shrimp. I was corrected. These are not prawns, because I guess down south they have some giant ones. Get a couple of those in there. I'll search around for some chicken and some pork. Some chicken. Doesn't that look good? And you could put this down over a bed of Asian noodles of some sort if you wanted to, but I'm going to have it more like a soup than anything. And I'm gonna get you zoomed into that so you can see exactly what I got going on. It's so hot. Doesn't that look good? Okay, let's see if I can get you a bite. I know you want one. And yeah, it would be good with wontons, but I didn't see a need. I'm not going to miss them, I don't think. There's my bite. I have some bok choy and a slice of that slivered pork. Wow, I can really taste the peppers in there, and the bok choy has its very own flavor. And that meat is just tender and delicious. So let's get a bite of prawn, shrimp. Shrimp, let's see, we'll get a shrimp and a zucchini. That's probably all I can fit in my mouth. Let's see what we got. Oh. That is outstanding. These are some of the best shrimp I've ever had. I buy them when they go on sale at my local Save Mart, and they're 16-20 count. They're just absolutely delicious. Every single time, I'm never disappointed. They're never, some of them, you know, they just come out too firm, and these are just juicy and succulent. And now I'll taste a piece of the chicken and I'll let you go. Let's see, we'll get a piece of the chicken, some bok choy, some mushroom, and a sliver of that water chestnut. How about that? Perfect. Absolutely wonderful. All right, you guys. I'm going to finish my soup. And as always, I hope that this inspires you to come back and see me next time, because this was delicious. It's a super easy and healthy recipe that you can throw together and change anything you want in this. Add anything, take anything out. The base is just a really simple broth, and you add to it. So if you just want to keep it vegetarian, that would be wonderful. If you wanted to leave the peppers out, it would still be wonderful. If you wanted to take away one of the meats or all of the meats, or however you want to do it, it's just absolutely delicious. And I hope if you like this, you give me a thumbs up. If you really like it, go post it on your Facebook page and share it with your friends and family. And maybe next time, maybe I'll be cooking something not so Asian, but I think the next recipe is actually an Asian inspired recipe as well. So I hope you stay tuned, and as always, guys, God bless.